Chosen one, do not scroll past this message, not this one, because what you are about to hear may explain things you have been struggling to understand for years. There is a reason you stopped here. There is a reason you felt pulled toward this message. There is a reason something inside you told you to keep listening. And Noah, I do not believe it was random, because for a long time now, Jesus has been trying to remind you of something that the world keeps making you forget. You carry His Spirit, not because you are perfect, not because you never fail, not because you always make the right choices, but because the moment you sincerely invited Him into your life, something inside you began to change. At first it was subtle, almost invisible. Nothing about your outward life seemed different. You still had the same struggles, the same responsibilities, the same battles, but deep inside, God had already started a transformation. And that transformation explains so much about your life. It explains why you have never fully fit in, why you often feel different from the people around you, why certain conversations leave you exhausted, why your spirit feels uncomfortable around fake people, why your soul craves something deeper than what this world offers. Chosen one, that is not weakness, that is evidence. Evidence that the Spirit of Jesus is shaping your heart. Have you noticed that you feel things more deeply than most people? You notice pain hidden behind smiles. You sense when someone is struggling even when they say they are fine. You feel burdened to pray for people without knowing why. You care about people that others overlook. You forgive people who never apologized. You still hope for people who disappointed you, and sometimes you wonder why. Why do I care this much? Why do I feel this deeply? Why does my heart refuse to become cold? Because the Spirit of Jesus carries compassion, and when His Spirit lives within someone, that compassion begins flowing through them, even when it hurts, even when it is inconvenient, even when nobody understands it. But there is something else you need to understand. The enemy notices it too. The enemy noticed the moment your spirit started growing. The enemy noticed the moment your relationship with God became deeper. The enemy noticed the moment your faith became real. And that is why the battle intensified. Think about it. Why has your mind been attacked so heavily lately? Why have you experienced seasons of confusion? Why have you felt pressure from every direction? Why have some of your hardest battles happened right after moments where you felt close to God? Because darkness recognizes purpose. The enemy does not waste his energy fighting people who have no assignment. The intensity of the battle often reveals the importance of the calling. And your calling matters more than you realize. That is why some seasons felt unbearable. There were nights when nobody knew how much you were hurting. Nights when you smiled during the day and cried when nobody was watching. Nights when you questioned everything. Nights when you wondered if God had forgotten you. But listen carefully. If God forgot you, you would not still be here. If God forgot you, you would not still be fighting. If God forgot you, you would not still be searching for Him. The fact that your heart still reaches toward Jesus after everything you have been through is proof that He has never stopped reaching toward you. Even when your prayers felt weak, even when your faith felt small, even when you doubted yourself, Jesus stayed. And that is what makes His love different. Human love often disappears when things become difficult. Human loyalty often changes when circumstances change, but Jesus remains. When everyone else walks away, He remains. When doors close, He remains. When life becomes confusing, He remains. When your strength runs out, He remains. And maybe that is exactly what you needed to hear today, because you have been carrying more than people realize. You have been fighting battles nobody knows about, standing through exhaustion, trusting God through uncertainty, holding on through disappointment, and yet somehow you are still standing. Do you realize how powerful that is? There were moments you should have given up, moments when the pressure felt unbearable, moments when fear tried to convince you that nothing would ever change, but something inside you refused to quit. That was not luck. That was not coincidence. That was the Spirit of Jesus carrying you. And if you feel that truth in your spirit right now, take a moment and write, "Jesus is carrying me." Write it in the comments, not because God needs your comment, but because sometimes your spirit needs to declare what heaven has already spoken, and heaven has not given up on you. In fact, God may be preparing you for something far greater than you realize. The problem is that preparation rarely feels exciting while it is happening. Think about Jesus. Before the miracles, there was the wilderness. Before the crowds, there was isolation. Before the breakthrough, there was testing. And maybe that is exactly where you are right now. Not abandoned, not forgotten, prepared for a future you cannot fully see yet, prepared for blessings you are not yet ready to carry, prepared for responsibilities that require a stronger version of you. Because God is not only changing your circumstances, He is changing you. And transformation is rarely comfortable. In fact, as most people mistake transformation for loss. They think something is wrong because old things no longer satisfy them. They think something is broken because old habits no longer feel right. But what if God is simply changing your appetite? What if He is replacing temporary desires with eternal ones? What if He is teaching your heart to crave peace more than attention, purpose more than popularity, truth more than comfort? Because that is exactly what the Spirit of Jesus does. He changes what you desire. He changes what you tolerate. He changes what matters to you. That is why your old life no longer fits. You have changed, even if you cannot fully see it yet. And there is another sign that you carry His Spirit. You cannot stay comfortable in compromise. You feel conviction quickly. You know that feeling. The moment you move away from what God wants for you, your spirit becomes restless. Not because God is angry with you, but because He loves you too much to leave you where you are. And that conviction is actually evidence of His presence. Many people ignore God for years and feel nothing. But your spirit notices, your heart responds, because Jesus is still working within you. Chosen one, can I tell you something most people never realize? One of the greatest signs that you carry the Spirit of Jesus is that you still care. After everything, after the disappointments, after the betrayals, after the unanswered prayers, after the setbacks, you still care, you still hope, you still pray, you still believe. And that is extraordinary because bitterness would have been easier, giving up would have been easier, becoming cold would have been easier, yet somehow your heart continues reaching toward God. That is not weakness, that is spiritual strength. And I believe there are people watching this right now who needed to hear that. If that is you, and if you know Jesus has been changing your heart, write, "I carry His Spirit" below. Let that be your declaration today, because your story is not over. The chapter you are living right now is not the conclusion. It is preparation. There are prayers still being answered, doors still being prepared, people you have not met yet who will change your life, opportunities moving toward you, lessons becoming blessings, pain becoming wisdom. And one day, you will look back at this season and realize that God was working the entire time, even when you could not see it, even when you could not understand it, even when nothing made sense. Jesus was there, guiding you, protecting you, strengthening you, transforming you, preparing you. And one day, people will look at your life and wonder how you survived everything that tried to destroy you. They will see the peace, but they will not see the battles. They will see the strength, but they will not see the tears. They will see the victory, but they will not see the nights you almost gave up. Only you will know, only you will remember. It was never your strength alone. It was the Spirit of Jesus carrying you every step of the way. So keep praying, keep trusting, keep moving forward, keep protecting your peace. Keep choosing faith when fear feels easier, because the same Spirit that comforted the broken, the same Spirit that strengthened the disciples, the same Spirit that changed the world, is still moving today. And chosen one, that Spirit lives within you.